Chicago weather.
Travel talk. This is travel talk.
Hey cousins, hey Kim folks, what's good? It's your girl, the Real Life Plug, and I'm here with Jonathan Pierre of medtravelhub.com. How you feeling today, Jonathan?
I'm feeling great. It's an incredible TravCon. I feel like there's a lot of energy this year, and I think you're about 500 more people this year than it was last year.
So I had heard through the rumor mill that there are about 3,000 of us here.
Yeah, that's definitely a rumor. Yeah, I think it's more like closer to 2,000 or over 2,000. We can go with it. It feels like 3,000. You know what? There are 3,000 people here this year,
including the residents and guests of the other hotels, that's fine. But the energy is definitely a little bit lighter this year. I feel like we fully bounced back from COVID. So let's talk a little bit about how you created your business during that time, or like how your business took off, or what was going on for you once that happened.
We're getting into some very sensitive
information.
No.
Okay.
I'm just, safe. Okay. This is a safe space, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, just me and you.
Cater to business owners and entrepreneurs.
Right. No, COVID was a rough time. I mean, obviously, the world shut down. My business was travel. My business was dead on the water, and it was tough. So at that time, I took a couple of crisis contracts, and I was like, what am I going to do now? I happen to be a bit of a serial entrepreneur. I'm always thinking about solutions, to perceived problems, and just like how I can make something more efficient, make something better. And, as soon as I stopped crying myself to sleep because my travel hub was over, I thought about something new to create. But the moral of that story was I just kept thinking, I kept creating, I stayed in my lane, right? If I wanted to be an entrepreneur, I wanted to bring a product to this space, failure is guaranteed. It's like, what are you going to do? Are you going to stay down? Or are you going to get back up and figure it out? So I actually started a different company at the time. However, once 2021 came around and they started talking about vaccines and the opportunity to get back out there in the world, I was like, we're back, baby. And I leaned all in. I stopped taking contracts. While all the nurses are making, y'all know how much they were making. I left all that money on the table, because if I'm working 48, 60 or more hours a week, I'm not spending time investing in my vision, my passion, my dreams myself. I left that on the table, rolled the dice on me, and I prepared myself for the 2022 that we had. And I had an incredible year. I'm extremely blessed. We've traveled to Dublin, Ireland, Cancun, Portugal, Peru twice, hiked the Inca Trail. I just got back from Guatemala a few days ago.
Really?
And then our last trip is Iceland in November. Wow. So I'm incredibly humbled. I'm incredibly grateful. But, I put in the work. And during the pandemic, I didn't let it keep me down.
Yes. Felt like as a traveler, there was a story behind the business. And I know that COVID, for some of us, the pandemic allowed us to come up in the world, especially as a travel CNA. There was a lot of money to be made, and it was made, you know what I'm saying? So I knew that there was a little bit more tenacity, a little bit more steadfastness that had to go behind that. And I really talked to my subscribers about that a lot. Like, when hard things come, you don't give up, because it's hard to either stay in that or it's hard to progress. So you choose your hard. So I felt that, and that's why I let that be the opening question, as well as to paint a picture of what your company means to you, what Med Travel Hub, essentially how it got birthed and rebirthed. You know what I'm saying? So I really wanted them to know that, and I wanted to know myself. So thank you for sharing that story with me. So why don't we talk a little bit more about the things that you guys have done this year, the places that you've gone, what your group sizes look like.
Right. So I'll go to two of our best trips, because we've been to a lot of places all over the world, as I mentioned. We started the year with Dublin, Ireland, and that's starting after not having traveled for almost 2 years. So it's like, all right, do we still have the juice? Are we back? And we saw that our trip size max is about 20 people. That's what we typically do, and that was a breeze. And then from there, Peru. Now, that trip was so popular. For the first time, we actually sold the same destination twice. I did it in April, and then I did it again in May. Back to back. And it wasn't the plan. It was that we had so much spillover from people who wanted to come and couldn't. Registration was closed. I opened it up again, and there were still people left on the table. But that particular trip was absolutely incredible. I wasn't a hiker. I still am not a hiker, but listen, I just did a 3-night, 4-day trek in the Andes Mountains with 24 other healthcare professionals. 14,000 feet elevation at the summit, and it was an inspiring experience. It was a challenging experience. It was a motivating experience, and a quasi-spiritual experience. There's a lot of healing energy in Peru. Very spiritual out there in Peru. There's a lot of plant-based medicine out there in Peru. But going through that physical and mental challenge together as a community really just made that experience that much more powerful. So that's what some of the things we're doing this year. But our big move, one of the things I'm really excited about when you talk about growth and opportunity and staying on the path, is that phase 1 was just building the product. Can we plan and host trips? Can we do it efficiently? Can we do it at scale, multiple trips, and put them together quickly?
Yeah.
Phase 2 is getting the industry to adopt and to recognize the lifestyles we're already living and getting to participate, right?
Yeah.
So if you look around the ShavCon and some of the people you may have spoken with, a lot of their marketing will say, start your journey here, your adventure begins here, come have an adventure, this, and that. Other than getting you your next job, what adventure are they providing for you?
You still have to put in the work for the adventure.
It's your own adventure.
I tell them all the time, nothing in travel nursing is free. Nothing. There's no part of it that's free. You have to put in work every single step, every single part of the way. So again, you choose your hard. You're going to choose to work a regular 3 to 11, 7 to 7, barely making ends meet, working 40 hours, 60 hours a week, or you want to take a travel contract, work your 36 hours and save up your money and get that time and a half. You choose your hard. But go ahead back to what you were saying.
No, I love that. Choose your hard.